Alright, it looks like we're back online?
Oh, yes, I think we are. Yeah, I think we're back. We're live. We're live. I can hear myself.
Okay, we're live. Oh, excellent. Hi, wonderful.
I'll let
Okay.
him know. You keep going, I'll let them all know.
I'm a what now?
I said, you keep going, I'll let them know.
Oh, it's unfortunate.
Alright, keep going with this shit.
Alright, well,
We have cancer.
you were saying something earlier about... I don't even know what now.
What was I saying?
Right. Something about...
Yes,
Oh, right, I
rephrased
rephrased the hook. Right,
and
yeah.
everyone should, play Star... No,
I rephrased the hook, and you were like, oh yeah, now that sounds more interesting.
Yeah, well, we rephrased the hook, and I was like, and if you just stopped there, I was like, if you just had the supernatural society, a complex structure of personalities, a realm of infinite possibilities, stop. Full stop.
Right.
You know what? That's a great hook.
Yeah.
I don't need much else for a good hook. It's not the best hook. It's not
not exactly the best hook, and maybe they could, make that in, next paragraph. It's something that's kept philosophers up for whatever. Like, maybe that would be that's an okay hook at best. I mean, the summary is absolute trash. Like, I would not have read this story if I saw that summary. In fact, I saw that summary and was like, boy, this would be a good story to read to explain how trash this story is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, as I was saying, words. Yes, the edgelord warning is already up because
we just started with it because that was a more productive use of our time.
Yeah, but more or less, yeah. So anyway, this is a very pretentious story already because it's using a lot of semicolons. The author thinks they're being really, hoity-toity, philosophical. I already hate the story, and we haven't even gotten to the part where the plot was explained. So, good job, author. You're terrible. Anyway. So, blah, 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 nothing matters, it's useless to go beyond what's established, blah, 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 there's two types of people, those with talent and those without, blah, 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 world of devils, this is clear, blah, blah, blah. Born into the house of Grimmery, arriving in an unexpected time where the Great War was still at a standstill, blah, 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 red-haired Grimmery was born talentless and weak and inferior, blah, 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 named him Naruto, the hatred between devils is heavy, within families it's so heavy, blah, blah, blah.
Heavier than any... Hold on. Heavier than anything at life. I want to point out that...
That's literally... I don't even know.
I don't know what... I can't even fathom what that's supposed to be saying. I feel like they're going for a blood is thicker than water thing.
The hatred of your family is heavier than life itself.
Yeah, well, and remember, blood is thicker than water. People are always actually leaving off the important bit of that.
What, it takes longer to clean out?
No, it's, hold on, I gotta figure out, the left off part is...
Whoa, Arn, whoa, man, whoa.
What?
Shopkeeper is great. Yes, Kitty, do not leave us. We need more viewers.
We really need it.
We need you to beef our view count.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, blah, 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 power of destruction, blah, 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 he never got the power, blah, 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 no one loved him because he didn't have power, blah, 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 he hated the main house, blah, 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 he was mistreated, blah, 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 he hated his family, blah, 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 he discovered a previously unknown ability that no one has ever seen before, the power of creation. He dreams things into reality.
See, this... Oh, boy. Let's take a little sidebar to talk about fiction in general. Where you say, we're gonna give the person the power of creation. You gotta be really careful with that. Because there are... Like... Otherwise, you'll very quickly get an overpowered hero, and we've already talked about, and we will continue to complain about, people who write overpowered heroes without properly knowing how to write them.
Right.
And generally, this is a personal thing, but when you are... We are in the... We are in what? The 5th paragraph, technically, by now? When in the first 5 paragraphs of your story, you are already giving your main character a deus ex machina,
Right.
I do not hold high hope for your story.
Well, I mean, you can look at it like this as well. You can totally have overpowered characters, as we've talked about before. For example, I'm gonna take the fucking teenage shopkeeper story by overly emotional owl, or whoever his name is inside my emotional owl. There we go. He's in our Discord. Shout out.
That's terrifying. Anyway,
so point being, emotional owl wrote a story called Teenage Shopkeeper, and it is a post. I think it's a post Kaguya fic, I believe.
Yeah, it is post Kaguya.
Where Naruto's fighting Kaguya, they end up in the void dimension where the Big Red is. He kills Kaguya, and then he ends up in the D times D verse. And Naruto post Kaguya is freaking absurdly powerful. So we already have an OP as shit character entering into this story. And the author does an amazing job of writing it. Because he doesn't focus on how powerful Naruto is. It's the story about Naruto trying to have a shop that sells candy. Of course, that barely gets focused on most of the time because, well, Naruto's powerful as shit, and the D times D verse is all about sucking the dick of people who are powerful as shit. So obviously he gets dragged into a bunch of misadventures and whatnot. But the point
that's
being...
the whole point of the comedy story.
Yeah.
The comedy story. The point is, he's not all powerful.
Well, he's absurdly powerful. But the point being is that the character was absurdly powerful, but the author was good enough to write a story where power didn't really mean much in terms of the plot. The story wasn't about how powerful Naruto was. It was about how everyone viewed Naruto, but the story wasn't about, oh man, look at Naruto, he's just 1v1ing everyone. Oh man, isn't this such a great story, guys? It's so amazing.
Much like One Punch Man, it does not focus on the character's power. Their ridiculous strength is a footnote to what is actually occurring, which is how that power has them interact with everyone, and the mundanity of what, and in the case of a simple teenage shop owner, the mundanity of what Naruto is pursuing. He's literally just trying to run a candy shop. He's just trying to run a candy shop and date someone.
Yep. And so, anyway, point being, the reason why we have the Edgelord banner up here, and we're not like, oh, damn, this could be an interesting story, power creation, because, pretentious start, edgy as absolute hell, summary, and, oh, everyone hates him, and he hates everyone, oh, they all think he's useless, but he unlocked the ultimate power. This is just a power wank. And it's not even a good power wank, because good power wanks are like, for example, Simple Teenage Shop Owner, where Naruto does get into fights pretty often, and the fights are extremely well done, and he usually wins because he's stronger than everyone, pretty much. But the point being is that it's a good power wank. It's well written because it doesn't focus on the power. This is focusing on the power.
Enough, the key to a good power wank is not focusing on the power, or you make the power have some kind of horrible drawback. Like for instance, take My Hero Academia. That show is eventually going to become a power wank because the main character is going to gain control of his power.
Right.
He's already starting to.
Right.
And in fact, as we saw, once he was able to use 5% of that, that already put him many levels above most people in that show.
Right.
But because it is A, about us learning with him, and B, they spend, I would say, just as much, if not more time on the other characters, it's still a great show, because they make us care about the characters before getting into ridiculous fights, and because initially, sure, we know the main character has the power to wipe anything off the face of the map.
Right.
He can do that. Oh, but he's gonna break his arm every single time.
Right.
I can throw one punch that will destroy anything, and then I will be bedridden for weeks because I broke my arm.
Right. And the other thing is that C Kakumas or D times D is really about now. No shit. We all know what D times D is actually really about. Anyway, point being, powerful characters are fine. We've said this before, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it again. Powerful characters are fine. Powerful characters are fun to read about. But, however, point being, either you have to be really, really, really good at writing the powerful characters from the start, or you build the characters up into powerhouses over the course of hundreds of thousands of words. That's the two ways to write powerful characters. Either you're really good at writing them from the start because you're not focusing on the power aspect, or they slowly gain power. Take, for example, I can't believe I'm doing this, my Dark Souls story that Max and I are writing.
Oh, quit whoring your own shit.
I will whore my shit out as much as possible. The characters start off... Well, I mean, Havel starts off as Havel, but Valkyrie, the pyromancer, starts off as... Oh, she's a pyromancer, she throws fireballs. Now she's getting into... Okay, she's kind of really powerful. But that only took 80k words to get to that point. It was a slow growth. Everyone could see it happening. It was good. It was balanced. It was nice. And still, we still have shit. Like, she still has major drawbacks to her powers.
Yeah, and the other thing I want to say is, this is something else that's important to note. The rules for
TLDR,
power
big power, do not focus.
Yes. The other thing that's important to note
Last thing.
Power applies very differently to heroes and villains. Because, take, for example, we're gonna go with Fate, the Fate series here. Specifically, Fate, Stay Night, and Fate, Zero. I'm gonna go with Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh is bullshit. Let's just be clear here. His power is to just get access to everybody's power, essentially. And to use it whenever he pleases. But people really don't care about that because A, he's not used very much. So when he does use his power, it's a big deal. And he's the villain. People like it when the villain is very powerful because then when the good guy wins, the good guy's that much better.
Yep.
Or that much cleverer than the bad guy. So I just wanted to make the note that, remember, power scales apply differently to different characters.
Right. Yeah. Disbelief ruins the fic. Power has to be believable. Which you'll all see what happens and why Valkyrie is so powerful in the chapter that I'm going to be releasing soon. No, really, I'm at 12k words out of like the 18k that's going to take. I'm close.
You might be done by next year.
Yeah, I know, right? Anyway, back to the story.
You think other authors have criminally slow upload rates?
Whoa, man. Look, I have seen some horrendous update rates, okay? Don't get into it with me. I don't want to start. Do not start.
You are up there.
Do not start.
Alright, fine. Go.
A young, red-haired boy closed his eyes and focused his mind. Opening his eyes once again, his body and physiology, already that of an 8-year-old, his eyes wandered through the pages
hold on. I gotta stop you
of
here.
a book.
his body and physiology already of an 8-year-old. Now, the way this is being phrased, that's amazing. That's miraculous.
Technically, Technically, Kitty, we haven't derailed at all. This is completely on the rails from the stuff we're talking about here. Now, a derail would be mentioning a derail. Anyway.
Well, and when I complained about your upload rate.
That's fair enough.
Regardless.
Yeah.
The way this is phrased, his body and physiology already of an 8-year-old. See, I personally think this is the author falling victim to trying to sound smart with fancy words. I think that's what's going on here. He's just trying to say he's 8 years old. I think that's what the author's trying to say.
I have a problem with this actually now that I think about it. Because, earlier, I was watching a video. This is sort of a derail, but not really. Point is, someone was trying to advertise their homeopathic remedy to autism. And the TLDR is, they used the word nutrition, and then they used orthopedic medication. Orthopedic medication is nutrition. So they said the word nutrition twice in a sentence describing how they were going to help you. And they used it one after another as if they were different things. And that's exactly what's happening here. His body and his body were already that of an 8-year-old. You see what I mean? Physiology is body.
I do. And I agree with you. That is something I didn't bring up, and I actually didn't even notice because I was too busy going, I think the author's an idiot and is just trying to say...
The author's even more of an idiot, because he just said his body and his body.
Yes, I agree.
I think he was trying to say psychology already of an 8-year-old. That would fit into your mold of him trying to be fancy and shit and fucking it all up.
Yes. But now, regardless of which one it is...
Yeah.
Regardless of who's right, what he's ended up saying is, because, and this is the way English works, and the way it's phrased, his body and physiology already of an 8-year-old.
Yeah, and however,
that makes it sound like
he was accelerating his growth or something. Yeah, no. Now if we had some timeline or something, he was born this year, and then we have a time skip 3 years ago or something like that. His body already that of an 8-year-old, like his body is somehow advancing quicker than normal, right. That would make sense then. But
that would be fine. But because, and as you said, because we don't have any frame of reference. We have no time.
Not only do we have no frame of reference, not only is there no frame of reference, his body is already that of an 8-year-old. Okay, what's that supposed to mean to us? Regardless of the frame of reference we use to piece together the past of this, what does that mean for us now? Why does it matter that he's 8 years old now? Why couldn't you say he's 8 years old? The words are important. How you use the words are very important, especially in English, because we have so many words to say the same thing. But each little variation, each synonym for a word indicates different levels.
And not just that, but this is the other thing that's really important to remember about English. The way and the order in which they are arranged is super, super important as well.
And, okay, yeah, and then back onto the main part of this. His eyes wandered through the pages of a book, while books around his room hovered as if telekinesis was being used. So he's not using telekinesis? Again, this is the key part of English language. As if telekinesis was being used implies telekinesis is not being used. What is that supposed to mean to the reader? Is that supposed to be like, wow, he's really advanced? We don't know. Or it was supposed to be like, oh, is this his special power? We don't know. The author's not giving us the contextual clues needed to piece together the shit he's pouring at us. And on top of that, he's trying to sound fancy, and in his process of trying to sound fancy, he's actually screwing himself over even more.
And let's move on to the next sentence. said books were changed from one place to another, all while his eyes, and this is what's making me upset, an important portion of his brain read the book at his front. What does any of this mean?
So the author there is trying to say that...
I know what he's trying to say. Yeah, go ahead.
The author there is trying to say the books are like revolving around him. And basically, it's the speed reading technique of like, oh, your eyes can actually read like 1,000 words per minute as long as they don't have to move. And that's a thing, actually. There's speed reading websites out there where you can put entire like books of text into the website, and it will like shoot the words at you super fast, but the position of the word won't change, and you
don't have to.
The majority of a person's time is spent reading is actually moving their eyes to each word. TLDR, he's trying to show that Naruto is doing that here by like rotating the book super fast so we can read them all. But not only is that completely stupid, because now the brain's going to piece together every single word from all the books. Because...
Which is not what you want.
And then all while his eyes read the book at his front. His eyes read the book at the front. Okay, so... What is he, reading the rest of the books with his brain or something? Like... Again, this comes down to the English language being very specific. When you say his eyes are reading the book at the front and imply there's other books around him being open, that's implying that he's reading or somehow doing an operation with the rest of the books, not using his eyes. Yeah. 600 favorites on this bullshit. I know, right? Fucking just kill me. Anyway, so, and then an important portion of the brain, big, huge, massive myth about this, 10% of your brain is being used, blah, blah, blah. They're wrong. Absolutely wrong. That's not how brains work. That's been disproven. People who use that are stupid and have not researched anything. That's always a bad sign. When people go, oh, well, they took... I've seen this before as well. Oh, they took serum and now their muscles are super strong. Okay, well, yeah, our muscles are actually really strong. And it's been shown we only use like 1/3 of our strength. Because you know what happens when we don't use 1/3 of our actual muscle power? Our arms are pulped out of existence.
No, I'm pretty sure that one's been disproven, Sneaky.
No.
Hold on, let me check.
There was a documentary, I actually watched a documentary about this. It's the guy literally basically pulped his arms trying to save himself. How the hell do you have 600 favorites? Well, it's quite easy, Zeeks. Also, if you can prove me wrong, that's fantastic. The more you know.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to...
600 favorites on 28K
words. And then I was told I was wrong.
Okay. Well, 600 favorites on 28K words, it's quite simple. It's Naruto and it's D times D, and it's Naruto being stupidly strong. Basically, in the Naruto world of fanfiction, if your Naruto is stupidly strong, it doesn't matter how shit of a writer you are, you're going to get hundreds of favorites because people are stupid and have no standards and have no sense of quality. If you can't tell, I'm a bit irked about this.
Yeah.
Anyway, today his brother was being upped from Count to Baron. Most of the party was blah blah blah, blah blah blah, reading books. He heard someone complain, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. There was a young female with blonde hair in a Victorian dress. Who are you? His voice was cold. How dare you speak like that to me? She asked a question. She asked, quite offended, to the male whom jumped the window. It's actually who, not whom. Jumped the window and descended the surface slowly using his newly acquired powers. His legs touched the surface and glanced at her. What surface? The surface of the ground? Because you just said he descended the surface using his power. And then his legs touched the surface. You already said he descended it. So he's no longer on the surface of the roof. Which means... What is he touching? Again, English language, don't be flowery, don't be freaking stupid. You have to be specific, and you have to use the words properly. Otherwise, you're gonna sound like a gibbering idiot and be made fun of by me. On the internet. In front of people.
Some random schmuck on the internet.
Indeed. If I ever see you in real life, I'll also make fun of you there.
Well, I mean, we'll do that anyway. But that's because we're horrible people.
Indeed. So blah blah blah, I'm Naruto
okay,
Grimry.
so from what I can tell, you are correct, and I was wrong, and I'm glad to have been proven wrong, because today I learned.
Today you learned. The surface of the author's overinflated ego is giving Naruto the ability to move around. Yeah, this is true. How close to the end of the chapter are we? How close to the end of the chapter are we? Well, we are nowhere near close enough, sir. We are way, way too close to the top. In fact, we're only about, I would say around an eighth through the chapter. Yeah, I know. Suffering. Suffering is real.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go move my laundry. I doubt I'll miss anything important.
You probably won't know. Anyway. He introduced himself, blah, 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 blah. Social bunny. The social bunny. Social bunny. Okay, so as far as I can tell, Social Bunny is a Sims 2 thing? Okay, it's an NPC. Okay, I don't... So, that makes no goddamn sense. Testament of the social bunny he truly was, not interacting with his family. Okay, so this guy is clearly a fan of Sims 2, but for some vile reason, he decided to not even, like, check to see if social bunny was an actual term that people use, and used it. And so now he sounds like a retard. And I mean like an actual mental retard. I don't mean that like insultingly, I mean that in like a literal fashion. Your eye, she replied, quite estranged by his attitude. Quite estranged. She was kept at a distance by his attitude, truly not knowing.
All right, I'm back and ready to commit suicide.
All right, well, you just help me. We literally got like a paragraph in, and you missed the part because I flipped a little bit of a shit because the author used Social Bunny to talk about how social Naruto was, and according to Google, Social Bunny is a NPC from Sims 2 that appears when you don't talk to anyone for a really long time.
I don't understand.
Basically, he's saying Naruto basically doesn't talk to anyone by using a Sims 2 NPC as like some sort of term to describe it. And the problem there, as I was saying, is that nobody knows what a social bunny is, so now they look like an actual mental retard.
See, this is why you don't reference things from... This is why when you're... It doesn't matter what. When you're working with another media property...
No, Arn, he did not mean social butterfly. The awkwardness of the situation was a testament to the social bunny he truly was. Social butterfly...
I was going to say social butterfly is something else.
...would imply that he's very social. Social bunny implies that he's not social at all, and we only know that because we had to go look it up on frickin' Google to find out that it's a Sims 2 NPC that appears to people who are lonely and haven't talked to anyone.
I was going to say, and because I looked it up, because what do we not like being on this show? Wrong. What do we hate even more than being wrong? Being wrong and being stupidly stubborn about it. A social butterfly is a slang term for a person who's socially dynamic, networking, charismatic, and personally gregarious.
Now, if the
Meaning-
author was trying to be ironic about this, like, oh, I'm such a social butterfly, look at me, I don't talk to anyone. Like, if they're trying to be, like, sarcastic about it, they have failed horribly. So,
Yes.
I'm going to attribute to
Either
stupidity
way,
more.
the author is stupid.
Yes, the author is stupid. Estranged by his attitude.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
If you're going to be sarcastic in your writing, like, for instance,
Me.
the terrible story, the terrible story that Max and I are writing, we are very sarcastic people. Surprise to anyone watching this show. Very, very sarcastic, and you can easily hear that in our voices. And
Yes.
I like to think that it comes across fairly easily in my writing.
Yes. Yeah. No, it will.
But here's the thing: if you're going to be sarcastic, you need to be consistently sarcastic. You almost have to be too sarcastic when you write.
This is the
Specifically when you write, so that people understand it, and so you can establish a
this is
pattern
what I
of
was
it.
talking about earlier. When you write your first paragraph, and you write your first sentence, and you write your first page, and you write your first chapter, and whatever, you are setting the theme of your writing for the book. That's how Lemony Snicket did it. That's how J.K. Rowling did it. That's how every popular, successful author has done it. Is they set the theme, the pattern, the flow of their writing straight from the beginning. So you can't, like, you didn't see J.K. Rowling or anyone else who didn't have sarcastic-ish writing just suddenly be sarcastic. Unless they were doing it from the start. Like Max does it. Like Atin did it. Like I did it in our currently ongoing stories. We were all starting off our stories with a bit of humor, a bit of silliness, a bit of seriousness, but all of it straight-faced. And that's how our stories progressed. That's how we've written the rest of it. Because that was the theme for our stories, because that's the flavor of our writing.
And that's because we're lazy, and the flavor of our writing is us.
Indeed. But, again, that's not bad for people who aren't writing as, a profession.
In the case of Max and I, it's a shitpost. Our entire thing is a shitpost.
Yes, just a big shitpost.
But we did our best to make it an entertaining shitpost.
But anyway. Blah, 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 you're odd, she was estranged by his attitude, blah, blah, blah.
Wait, she was estranged by his attitude.
To be fair, estranged means to be kept away. Yes.
Yes.
Technically,
However,
on the most semantical level, he is using the word correctly. However, once again, the author is trying to sound fancy by using big words, and is just making himself look like an ass. Blah, blah, blah.
Of a person no longer close or affectionate to someone alienated, yes, technically, I suppose the author is correct, but
like
that
I
is
said,
not the common
on a
usage.
semantical level, the author is correct in using estranged in that fashion. However,
On a semantical level, the author can kiss my ass.
indeed. I was going to say, however, on the terms of word flow and story flow, it's crap. Blah, 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 she's not fit to make demands on a piece of territory that wasn't hers, and since both their families were the same, it seems hard to acknowledge who defeated whom. Again, incorrect use of whom. She replied to the male whom nodded again. You're trying to sound fancy, and you're just blowing shit out of your ass onto the screen.
Oh, you say, that is the biggest problem with using words like whom. Sure, there are lots of words in the English language. They're your...
And there are
nickel
cases in
words.
where you're supposed to use whom.
Yeah, and there are. Most of the time, you don't have to, and you can get away with using who instead, because all of humanity is a bunch of lazy fuckwits.
Also English language.
Yeah, but, and this is an important one, when you use them incorrectly, you look like an
giant
asshole.
ass. Yeah. The theme of his writing, from what I am getting so far, is he was right. he followed my advice, I guess you could say.
Your advice before we gave it. Fascinating.
He took the first paragraph and then proceeded to write his entire story like he wrote the first paragraph. Which is the correct thing to do. However, when your first paragraph is a raging garbage fire of trash that doesn't flow into itself, makes you look like a colossal pretentious asshole, and generally turns you off from reading it. Writing the rest of your story like that, yeah, writing the rest of your story like that isn't an improvement.
Sometimes, kids, you need to learn when to stop.
Blah, 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 blah. Isn't this so boring? Out of the blue conversation with the blonde-haired female Phoenix Harris. That needs to be capitalized because it's a proper noun. Careful to not sit as properly as her mother indicated her so in her etiquette lessons. What is this? Yeah, English language is very precise. Which means, when you are fluffing up your words, and don't worry, kiddos, your professors can tell when you're fluffing.
Oh, professors absolutely can tell.
Because English is a very specific, precise language, despite all of its idiosyncrasies. That is actually the proper usage of that word. Despite it all, English is a very precise language. People will be able to tell when you're just shitting onto a keyboard to add words. Like right now. What is the purpose of knowing that she's not sitting as properly as her mother indicated her to do so because she took etiquette lessons? There is no purpose there.
Unless if you wanted to include that, yes. A subtle sense of defiance early on.
Indeed.
That's the only possible reason.
I was about to say, the better way to do that would have been, beginning the, I don't even know,
a better way to do it would have been something along the lines
slouching a little bit. She started the conversation. I don't even know how to phrase this. Like,
I was going to say,
this is a paragraph
to keep her posture noticeably less than perfect.
This is a paragraph describing how she started talking that could be compacted down to a single sentence. Slouching a little bit, she brought up a topic out of the blue, trying to break the ice or something like that. That was a crap way to say it, but you get my idea. We don't need this 2.5, 3 sentence monstrosity bullshit here.
Like, no matter how you do it, it's gonna take you a couple of paragraphs to do, or a couple of sentences. Good God, I can't speak today. It's gonna take you a couple sentences to do.
Like, not really.
Certainly make it flow better.
Yeah, like right here, we have a whole bunch of word fluff bullshit that basically can be TLDR'd into. She sat down in a bit of a slouch and just started talking to Naruto.
Yeah, and if you really, really want to be specific, you can be like, she was slouching.
She slouched in a way not appropriate for a lady of her station.
Yeah, or
and began casual conversation with Naruto. Like, literally could have been phrased so many other ways than this, and it would have been better.
In an act of defiance, she made sure to slouch before taking up a casual conversation. Like,
author googled how do I purple prose and rolled with it. What he rolled was in a pile of shit.
The author was convinced they could roll a 20, when in fact they rolled a 1.
They tried rolling a 20 with a 4-sided die.
No. They rolled They tried to roll a 20 with a 1-sided dice.
Indeed.
Now, to anyone who's not familiar with that joke, it's where your DM paints a 1 on a ball, because your DM's a dick.
It literally could have been phrased any other way and it would have been better. Purple prose is trash. Yes, what do they even see in these things? It's basically a really fancy way of writing it. It's stupid because people look at it and they're like, oh my god, that's so smart looking. And it's just like, no, fuck off.
But the problem is, for anyone who's got a brain in their head, which I like to think is most of the people on planet Earth, then again, I realize that televangelists make unholy amounts of money, and I assure you, it is unholy.
Well, Isley, that is the point of this podcast as well. This podcast is there to pick you up by your bootstraps and raise you up, giving you the confidence, knowing that you aren't this fucking bad. Your writing may be crap, but you aren't this guy.
I think that's something we can all aspire for. Not being this guy.
She voiced out her wonder to no one in particular, but the red-haired Gremory, how it needs to be capitalized again, and there needs to be a hyphen there. However, he chose to answer her question anyways. Again, this purple prose bullshit. She voiced the question, not expecting an answer, but Naruto took her up on it anyway. Holy shit, I just improved this story by 10%!
I think 10% is generous. I'd say 5. Things are doing pretty bad, buddy.
It's inside their own culture as devils. We are natural at boasting our talents to make others envious of what we possess now. A very structural basis of our own rituals in this case. The female just glanced at him, taking his words and turning back to the party that was held inside. Wow, that's some really philosophical bullshit coming from an 8-year-old. Like, look, people.
Oh, but they're high society. No, they fucking aren't.
No. Look, I can understand.
Not yet they aren't.
I can understand kids maturing faster due to the lifestyle they live.
Sure.
I can understand that, sure. However, there's a reason why, despite all the shit that goes on in the world, there's no 8-year-old philosophers, and there never will be 8-year-old philosophers. Because 8-year-olds do not have the life experience to philosophize. They have nothing to look back on and compare to. They're 8. They don't remember anything past 2 years ago. I mean, I'll read a one-shot from you, Arn.
But first, we need to finish this shit.
You should write it right now. Holy shit, we're like a fifth into this story. Jesus Christ. We're at 45 minutes of this self-aggrandizing bullshit.
Asshat.
So, do you want to just move on? Call this story a shit case?
It's a shit case, but I actually am quite enjoying this because it's a wonderfully rare kind of shit case that we don't get anymore. And you know what that is?
The educational kind?
The educational kind.
Right, yeah.
Like, really, how often do we get this much prime material out of a story? Never. Like, the problem is a lot of the times, and as I'm sure everyone here knows, when our stories are trash, that's just it. They're trash. And then we're like, well, I can't work with it. It's a pile of shit, and everyone knows it's a pile of shit.
Okay, so, to answer Isley's question, according to Google, purple prose is prose text that is so extravagant, ornate, or flowery as to break the flow and draw excessive attention to itself. Purple prose is characterized by the excessive use of adjectives, adverbs, and metaphors. Wow, that's almost like the entirety of Trevor's stories that we covered a while back, the PDFs. When it is limited to certain passages, purple prose or purple passages stand out from the rest of the work and offer building material to the work, to flavor it. However, when you write your entire freaking story in purple prose, you just look goddamn dumb. It's like if someone walked around with a freaking thesaurus, and when they talk to you in the middle of a conversation, they're just flipping through the fucking thesaurus, and be like, isn't today so exquisite? It's blah 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 blah. Look how smart I am, I use words. TLDR, don't do it, it's stupid.
And if you do it, you're even stupider.
More or less, yeah. More or less.
Sit down.
Anyway.
And that's the end of our show. Dun.
No, just
no, it's not.
We're here for a while.
Also, remember, it's not quite as bad as you think. Because we haven't been here for forever. It just feels like it because we went down.
That is a fair enough point, sir. Ryuval Phoenix was truly a diamond in the rough for Naruto Gremory. Her position in the social ladder was quite higher than his now for the fact of not possessing any power. Jesus Christ, this is just pure purple prose. Freaking Christ. Blah, 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 no talent, blah, 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 only friend, blah, blah, blah.
I was
going to
say, hey,
blah,
at least
blah,
the
blah.
review for this one's going to be easy. Please use less purple prose.
Delete yourself.
No.
Expanding arsenal of techniques of creation and psionic manipulation.
What? When the fuck did this become StarCraft? Yeah, answer me that.
I'm confused here. Alright, so answer me this, right? We have Naruto, right? Oh, he's powerless, he's useless, he's weak! Naruto continued his
powerless.
No. Still powerless, still useless. Ryuval Phoenix is now hiring him for him not possessing any power. At least not his parents knew of. Okay, so, little hint. Devils are magical, and they can sense the magic of other devils. Like, instinctually.
That's just what they do. Why?
Because they're made of magic.
But they do it.
High school D times D, you know, like, oh wow, that person's also a devil. How do you know? Because I can tell, because devil plot device. Okay, fair enough. They could tell that Naruto would be stupidly powerful for a person who's supposed to be powerless.
Ah, he's not supposed to be powerful at all.
Our son seems to be so strong in his magic. Well, I bet he's just a powerless piece of shit.
He can't do anything. No, I don't quite think that's how that goes, buddy.
So, look. His power of creation and psionic manipulation. So, on top of all that, right, he's still, it's not like he's in a different area. He's been practicing these magics at his home. Devils are sensitive to magic. He is using never before seen magic. Devils are sensitive to magic. 2 + 2 equals... Holy shit, they figured out he's using magic.
Wait. You're fucking wrong, man. 2 + 2 is fish. God damn it.
So, as I was saying, blah 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 went to go look for elemental magic, and he was taught by Ryuval fire and wind magics, and then he taught her menial but useful subjects like math.
What? She didn't have a fucking math teacher?
Are you implying that someone of their station would not be taught math?
Because if the answer to that is yes, we need to have a chat.
Woo! Well, it's true that math and physics are the grandfathers of magic. At the end, one must first experience elemental magic physically to go further into mastering and creating more techniques using the scientific method. No, we actually have a very detailed explanation of the D times D magic system. Last I believed, I've never looked it up, but I've seen it once or twice.
I have not watched High School D times D, and in fact, sadly, my only experience with it has been mostly horrible fan fiction.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna call bullshit on. Oh, you need to feel fire magic before you can use fire magic.
Listen here, we already did that in Final Fantasy.
No, actually.
Yeah,
Fuck
Blue
you.
Mages.
No, I'm not talking about Final Fantasy. I'm talking about this.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was like...
By the age of... Wait, blah, 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 blah. Age of 10, blah, blah, blah. First mission as a 3-devil team to Germany to murder a rogue devil traitor.
Hold up!
That sold information to Norse gods.
Hold up.
They're sending...
I understand...
I didn't realize we were in the Pokemon verse! And we're sending 10-year-olds off to save the world! Go ahead.
I was gonna say, look, I understand they're from big, important, noble houses, but this is a bit more dramatic than that. Like, this is, hey, let's send 10-year-olds on a murder mission. Think that could have any negative repercussions? Nah, Frank. None at all. No possible downside.
Yep.
Continue.
Yep, they are sending a powerless 10-year-old on a murder mission. Give you a one-shot idea real quickly.
Sneaky is forced to be a nice person.
No.
There's a one-shot for
Harry Potter. He knows Harry Potter really well, so let's give him a Harry Potter one.
Harry Potter casts a spell to make Sneaky be a nice person.
No. That will never happen.
You're right, even Harry knows what a lost cause is.
Well, me being nice would just be me killing people, so they wouldn't suffer in life anymore.
Oh, hello, Mr. Chaotic Neutral.
Quickly, someone give him a Harry Potter one-shot idea. Oh, here we go. Harry Potter uses a gun to kill Voldemort.
Harry Potter and the mysterious case of the Glock 1911. Glock 1911, that doesn't exist. Neither do guns in Harry Potter, so...
I was about to say, did you just fuck that up?
No, I had a very specific joke in mind. That's why I rushed to the punchline, so people wouldn't think I was a retard.
Okay.
I knew what I was doing.
I know there's already been Harry kills Voldemort with gun. I just want to see Arn try and write that. Alright, sure. Harry rides the stairs. Fucking, I don't care.
Harry rides the stairs.
Alright, so powerless 10-year-old is sent on a kill mission.
With an ultra-powerful 10-year-old.
Yeah.
And
blah, blah,
who's
blah.
the other person?
Blah, blah, blah. Battle, blah, 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 blah. The battle sparked the needed edge he needed to awaken the power of destruction and a unique and unusual thing, a supernatural eye. Right, so now Naruto's keeping the power of creation, the power of destruction, a bullshit Deus Ex Eye, and psionics from his parents now. Boy, they must be blind, deaf, mute, and crippled.
If they think he's powerless.
He didn't report it to his family, and he got isolated further. He expanded his knowledge of science and medicine. Blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. When he was 10, he was already going. He already said he was 10. Devil legions that fought on the front lines. What time period is this? You said it was the Cold War.
Apparently, it's not anymore.
Apparently. Augmenting his physical power and magical power with the power of destruction. He increased his physical agility, speed, and knowledge. What? No, what? What? Augmenting his physical prowess and his power of destruction, Naruto chose agility, speed, and knowledge.
The fuck?
I didn't realize knowledge was a physical muscle on your body.
Yeah, neither did I.
Gotta flex your knowledge muscle today, guys. Gotta make sure it doesn't get flaccid. Blah blah blah, years went on, blah blah blah. His parents and his entire family completely forgot he existed. By the age of 13.
Wait. They sent him on a kill mission and then forgot he existed.
Yes. And he has an impeccable record on all of the missions he ever took. And he has a private laboratory away from the Grimmery Mansion, inside his family's territory, and good impersonation on the 4 rulers, mostly Lucifer, who's understood.
What the fuck?
Wait, so the Grimmery family, which canonically loves their entire family so much they're willing to murder people to make them part of it.
Which is its own bucket of worms, but, you know, whatever.
Devils, whatever. Have ignored Naruto to the point where an impeccable mission record against high-level kill targets is a thing as a 10-year-old, and they forgot about him.
Yeah, because clearly he isn't that important.
Maybe it's like Total War, where you send the agent away until 30 turns later where you remember he exists.
Oh, hey, he got strong and useful.
Anyway, so blah blah blah, elegant office, Lilith, young teenager, blah blah blah, combat boots, blah blah blah, vest armor, blah blah blah, black pants, black hood covering his face, blah blah blah. Oh boy, so he's a ninja. Okay. Is stunning for someone as young as you, young Grimmery. Most of recorded history, most of your recorded history in the archives consists of requests, which clearly shows your possessive form, strong will to help people around you. What?
I feel like that would make them angry. You know, being a devil family and whatnot.
You're in the archives. The archives of what? The mission archives? Consist of requests? So there's mandatory missions for devils?
I guess those are those murder missions.
Okay, Yeah, I'm not quite sure why we're supposed to feel sorry for Naruto here. He's literally keeping every single power of his silent from his family who is for some reason ignoring him even though he's going on literal murder missions.
And succeeding,
and
by the way.
Succeeding impeccably, apparently. And we're supposed to feel sorry for him because he hates them because he's making them ignore him?
And not only that, this is supposed to be the most loving family in the show. Which I understand it's very twisted and messed up, but, like...
Yeah, like, I just... blah, 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 took out a piece of paper where the result of his application to the devil military was semicolon...
Hold on. He's got a military application...
As a 13-year-old. Yeah, the devils.
No. Even ignore that. Ignore that.
Okay.
He's making an application when he is, as far as everyone knows, useless.
Yes. He is completely powerless and useless and has no ability to fight whatsoever, but he's perfected every single mission he's ever gone on, and... The Lucifer. It's Lucifer. It is not a the title. It is a title. It is not the general. It is Lucifer. It is a name title. It is your name.
Yep.
You are a Lucifer, which means you are called Lucifer. That's how that works. Anyway. Blah, blah, blah. Laid the papers on the desk. Blah, blah, blah. You and your brother, possessive form, why? You do not know... are very different young Gremory for that reason? What? What is this sentence structure? You and your brother are very different young Gremory for that reason. You use so many fucking semicolons, but the one time where you actually need to put a pause in, you fuck it up and don't. I've decided the place you'll serve in this great war against the other factions. Going by the side of his desk was a special black envelope. He tore it's not even the possessive form of it, is it? No. No, it's not. No? No, it is. Okay. And inside was a paper. As he started to write on it, the Lord Lucifer and... stayed that way? Wait, then who's opening it? What? Lord Lucifer and Naro Gremory stayed that way. Stayed what way? What? English is a very specific language. You must indicate at all times the positioning of people and things. Sometimes you can imply it by previous statements you've made. However, the problem here is we have no freaking clue where they are or why they would be staying that way. Staying what way? Why? He hoped to be assigned
give us more information
to the 679th, where his best friend Ryuval Gremory was placed. Wait, I thought she was a phoenix.
It doesn't matter anymore.
Both have gone through so much. Blah, blah, blah. She was the only person to ever care about him. The devil appeared by the side of Lucifer, knelt down, blah, blah, blah. Black pants. So it's a ninja. He's got a ninja devil. He takes the paper from the ninja from the Lucifer. I said that correctly, yeah. Agent disappears like a ninja. please get out of this office and in the privacy of your bedroom, open this paper and memorize the instructions. Again, there's a lack of comma there. There needs to be a comma there because you don't know how sentence structure works. Once you are done reading and memorizing these instructions, you are to destroy any paper by any means. You cannot reveal any of the information this paper contains, or you are officially a traitor to your race with legal right for my agents to murder you.
How will they know if he does?
What? What even is this?
I think that what's going on is he's being told if he shares anything on this piece of paper, he'll be murdered.
Right, so why does that mean Naruto has to destroy all paper?
I don't know.
Okay,
I'm assuming that the author just made a mistake.
See, this is why you don't purple prose things, because now your writing is just trash. Now that you're done purple prosing everything, it's covered up for the fact that your writing was actually just plain garbage instead of fancily dressed garbage.
And once again, Skelly Kitty's making a great point. The powerless 13-year-old is going on a Black Ops mission.
Yeah, apparently.
The powerless 13-year-old.
Most of the maids. Oh, good. We got... oh, good. So she's a ninja, too.
I'm gonna go play Dark Souls. Not really, but I wish I could.
Oh, she's a phoenix again instead of a Grimoire. The dark side! For the complex...
The darkness!
Man, say your name, or boy. Yeah, he's going on Black Ops missions. Assassinations. 13. He killed for the first time as a 14-year-old. Then what were his previous missions?
Yeah, I was gonna say, hold on. He went on a kill mission at 10. Now, maybe he didn't actually kill anyone.
He still participated in the killing of the mission.
He was there. And apparently he's got an impeccable record on all of them.
I'm assuming the author made a mistake. Basically the story. Yes. There's nothing really even to... Oh boy. Oh, they're using code names. Oh boy. It's the Anbu. Oh boy. I'm excited.
Let's make things even more confusing.
By not reading this anymore.
Oh, come on. We're almost done. We're not even halfway done.
No.
You know what? No. We have... Generously, we've got 40 minutes left in the show. We'll just make this a 2-hour special of this piece of crap.
No, we ran out of things to even, like, talk about or criticize. It's just crap. It's just bad. It's just stupid. Like, there's nothing to even really, like, teach from it anymore. It's just shit writing with a shit plot and a shit idea executed shittily, and all the characters are worse than freaking cardboard cutouts. Cardboard cutouts have more personality than the characters in that fic.
All of those are valid points. But I need a nap, so...
So how about Lord of the Rings story, then?
I actually like Lord of the Rings, please don't.
A journey to a curious place. Kayala Harris suddenly finds herself in the middle of the woods with no memory of how she got there. She will have to learn to survive, adapt, and resist the urge to accidentally rewrite someone's entire life or death. Sounds easy, right? Experience is simply the name we give to our mistakes by Oscar Wilde. My attempt at a Mary Sue story, but with more logical outcomes. Self-insert times Boromir. Romance adventure.
You're gonna... Hey, spoiler! Boromir dies!
Greetings, fellow Tolkien fans!
Wait a minute. Is this just a character tag, or are they trying to say Peregrine's going to be with Aragorn?
Where's that? Oh, hey.
Right after Boromir OC.
Maybe. No, I think they're just going to be there in the party.
Okay, good. Because otherwise, I was about to say, look.
This is a heavy Mary Sue fic depicting the story of a girl named Kayala Harris and her adventures through Middle-earth. It was a Boromir times OC fic, and sadly I never finished it. I have thought back on occasion to this story, and wanted to finish it one day. My writing style in the last 5 years has changed drastically. However, so when I went to reread that story and perhaps continue it, I shuddered at its terribleness. So after I rewrote this story, I have restarted the whole thing. Completely scrapped, all new. Warning to readers. This story...
you are really messing up the order of words there, boyo.
Nope. While this story is not as heavily Mary Sue as the last, there are inevitably going to be Mary Sue qualities, such as first off, a girl falling into Middle-earth. Let's be honest, who wouldn't want to be sucked into their favorite story? Well, being that a majority of my favorite stories are all really depressing, like, lethal stories, if it wasn't for the main characters having plot armor, I would hate it, actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say, in my terrible self-insert, literal self-insert, yes, I know, I'm a horrible person, in my literal terrible self-insert, I was like, I'm just a normal human being, I would die in seconds. So we cheated, and made us dying all the time part of the plot. Because we're lazy.
And it's a shitpost.
And it's a shitpost. I do not deny that. But I do not deny that it is also a terrible self-insert.
Yep. That being said,
that doesn't make it any better.
This is not that story, blah blah blah, people will die, characters will hate each other, and there'll be many tears. Kayala will have some luck, but not in the beginning. I want to try to keep the cutesy, silly feel of Mary Sue stories. Oh yeah, we all love that feel. Not. But also adding as much realism as possible. Okay, so, TLDR, as much realism as possible, a realistic Lord of the Rings story will go like this. Self-insert appears in Lord of the Rings. Self-insert pretty much immediately dies to orcs, dwarves, elves, humans, just generally anything that breathes and exists in the middle of Middle-earth verse, because well, they're human, and they A, probably won't speak the language, B, are wearing strange clothes, and C, have no survival instincts.
Most of the humans, most of the races in Middle-earth are not murder happy.
That is fair. The elves might not kill her.
No, the elves wouldn't.
Well, Mirkwood elves might.
They'd be more likely to take her captive, though.
Yeah.
Come on, they didn't even kill dwarves.
That's fair enough.
So Mirkwood elves are going to take her captive. Lorien elves or Rivendell elves are going to try to help her.
And in other news, so you all know like why it was such a big deal that what's her face was trying to be a cavalryman. Eowyn, yeah, right. Remember when she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be part of the cavalry, and I'm gonna charge with you guys," and they're like, "Oh, that's fucking dumb. Don't do that. You're gonna die." You know why that is? It's because men at peak fitness are a lot stronger than women at peak fitness.
Well, and also let's leave that aside for a minute. There's another really great reason. Rohan is a mostly nomadic group of horse warriors.
Right.
they can't afford to send women into battle.
Well, I mean, yes, aside from the obvious reproductive problems of having women fight in the medieval times, I'm also talking about their ability to fight, especially in a fantasy verse with shit like orcs. An unending tide of orcs.
Actually, orcs are very weak. Obviously, I know that's the point, but, like, your average human female will not have a problem fighting an orc.
Are you sure, though?
An orc or a goblin, they will not
Goblin,
have a
maybe. No, goblin.
No, orcs and goblins are interchangeable. Uruks, however, they would have a problem with.
Uruks, right. Anyway, so
my point being, the elves are most likely going to end up helping her. Yeah. Most of the races of men are not going. They might not help her, but they probably aren't going to murder her either.
She's probably going to be robbed, and or sold into slavery.
No, it depends on where she ends up.
That is fair enough as well. Yeah, that's true.
If it's in Gondor, she's probably going to be helped. If it's in Rohan, maybe they'll help her, maybe they'll just ignore her.
Anyway.
And if it's in the ruins of the north, that one's more of a toss-up.
Yeah. So,
and obviously, if she runs into one of the two evil races of men, obviously bad things are going to happen. But that's...
Anyway, point being,
most of them aren't going to kill her. You actually getting sucked into Middle-earth, you actually have pretty good chances of not dying as long as you're not in Harad, or as long as you're not in either the Far East or
a forest,
a random forest that a not elf forest.
Yeah, even an elf forest would probably have wolves and shit kill you.
No, really, the only dangerous elf forest is Mirkwood.
That's fair enough. That's true.
That's because of Dol Guldur, mostly.
Right. Yeah. But still, point being, there's lots of threats to you. Yeah. Even more as a female, because, unless you're, like, a bodybuilder, you're gonna have problems surviving in melee combat.
Most of the human beings will have a problem.
No, most, like, early 20s guys who have any athletic ability would be pretty much
But most of us don't have any athletic ability. If we're Tolkien fans, we're a bunch of fat nerds.
I don't know, man. I know quite a few football players and bodybuilders, like Marines and shit, who are Tolkien fans. I think they would be pretty fucking okay.
Well, yeah, okay, a Marine's gonna be just fine.
Alright, yeah, we're moving the edge alert. It's just a Mary Sue alert now. Which we don't have a graphic for yet, unfortunately. Anyway, let's keep rolling on again. Blah, 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 chewing a thumbnail. Blah, 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 I did this for blah, 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 blah. I chewed on my nail polish. Blah, blah, blah. I'm scraping it. Blah, blah, blah. I'm exhaling. Blah, blah, blah. English literature lectures. Blah, blah, blah. Daydreaming. Blah, 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 Tumblr, Facebook, blah, 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 glaring from the professor. I didn't have a bad life, blah, 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 I'm not saying I'm suicidal, blah, 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 I feel like a foreigner. Maybe you should get off Tumblr then. I hear that really helps. Blah, 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 I grew up in Western Canada, and I grew up in a small, wealthy town in Western Canada, so my hometown consisted of elderly people and conservatives.
Oh no! Conservatives! No! To be fair, they listed themselves being as Tumblr users, so they might actually burst into flames.
Not that there's anything wrong with either, but my wistful left-wing ways of thinking earned me lectures from my parents and colleagues. The friends I had weren't like that.
Yeah, you know what? Get the hell over yourself. I'm a conservative, and I went to school in Vermont. Deal with it.
And I adored my friends because they were left-wing like me. And we would all be going our separate ways because school was ending soon, and I was having separation anxiety. See, I wouldn't know what separation anxiety is because I literally do not give a shit about anyone.
That's because you're a psychopath!
This is also a fair statement.
You really should get yourself tested. If anything, it'll help you climb the ranks in your government job. Really, you think the government won't be like, ah, yes, he doesn't care about anyone. We can bring him on as a tax collector.
Alright,
You'll never feel. You'll get 6,000 sob stories a day. You don't care, because you don't even care about anyone. Captain Nihilism.
Anyway. But yeah, no, I don't. Separation anxiety, I don't even. Yeah. Okay, so, this is going to be, I'm going to add a derail counter to this. Because, this is going to be a bit of a derail, but I'm just going to be poking some little political at this, because they got political. No,
careful.
hey, I know, hey! Quote-unquote left-wing ways of thinking. Look, if it's a small, wealthy town, then clearly the methods they used to be wealthy worked. And if they were all conservative, that means when a conservative is, because again, left-wing, you're getting lectures. The only time I really hear lectures from conservatives is when it comes to economics. Or, because then you also have the separate group of moralists who will lecture people about their view on the morals of pro-life and whatever.
Now, the two are often intertwined.
The two are often intertwined, yes. However, there are plenty of conservatives out there who just don't give a shit about that stuff, but will always lecture you on economics, because that's really where the liberal conservative thing is.
Well, that's because most of us tend to think that communism is a terrible idea, because you know what? I killed 17 people for that gold, it's mine, and I'm not sharing it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yeah, I'm a tax collector. I appreciate everyone supporting the tax collector. Fuck you all. Anyway.
Hey, I'm just telling them, there could be worse tax collectors. You could be one of them.
Anyway, point being, if you're a child and you come up with some wondrous idealistic thing and a conservative then proceeds to lecture you about economics, it's probably because that's already been tried and it didn't work, and now the conservative's like, this is why it didn't work, you dummy. Stop thinking it will. Because that's how we end up with, let's try communism one more time. And then, that's how we end up with, will rabbit meat save Venezuela from starvation? That was actually an article, by the way, just in case anyone was wondering. It all starts with that, and it always ends with that. Just one more time.
And it finally ends with, I guess I can eat Grandma. She was on her way out anyway.
Indeed. Pretty much, actually. Her more left-wing tendencies could also just be good old-fashioned teenage rebellion.
Who cares?
No, I mean, maybe, but, I mean, retardate, like, oh, I'm gonna rebel against my parents by eating glue. Oh, I'm rebelling. Ha! I was just pretending to be retarded. Ha! Joke's on you.
Anyway.
You get my point. Anyway, moving on. Blah, 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 blah. Video games. Blah, blah, blah. Internet. Blah, blah, blah. I'm a wimp.
Hold on,
blah,
hold
blah,
on.
blah.
A left-wing person who likes video games?
Impossible.
I thought that was verboten.
Blah, blah, blah. I'm super pale and I'm a hermit. Blah, blah, blah. I'm blue a raspberry.
What? Why are you blowing a raspberry?
Because she was tired. Started at 6 and ended at 9.
Hold on! How does that make any sense? When I'm tired, I pinch myself. I slap myself. I get some soda.
Get good, son.
I do some jumping jacks and some exercise. What the hell does blowing a raspberry
It's because you're rebelling against the man.
Oh, shut the fuck up, you gigantic tax-collecting ass.
Fuck off!
Hold on, I'm changing your nickname now.
Oh, fuck you. Change your nickname to fucking eating shit dickweed.
I'll change it back!
Yeah, but such a long days. Oh no, midterms. Oh, terrible. Oh, the lecturing. Oh my god, guilt-ridden mess. Why? Oh, anxiety, and I would skip class, and then I would be guilt-ridden. So basically what you're saying is you're pretty much a trash person who can't stick through with anything and doesn't, know how to take life by the reins and actually deal with your problems.
Well, you say...
Oh, I just realized why they're liberal.
The thing that infuriates me about this is, and maybe this is something that's going to be dealt with in the story, but right now, this is the person saying, I know what my problem is. I ain't going to do anything about it, but I'm going to complain about it.
Can't forget the complaining part.
I'm poor because I don't have a job, and because I'm a student in debt. That's my problem. But rather than try to get a job, I'm gonna sit here and read Tumblr all day, instead of trying to become a productive member of society.
Also talk about how communism needs one more try.
Listen, if Bill Gates agrees to it, sure, I'll give communism a try. And then, when I get my pile of money, I'll go move somewhere sensible and live happily.
Indeed. Blah, blah, blah. Angry letter about the... I'm gonna complain about the buses. So you're gonna be that person. I already hate you. Wow, I hate this author more than I thought I would. Like, I knew I was gonna hate them for writing this sort of story. Like, that was just obvious.
I threw on some adult clothing.
Some adult clothing?
My pajamas I've been wearing all day.
As opposed to what, child clothing?
No, I understand what they're saying. It's
I know what they're saying as well, and I'm just being a little dick about it. Because I need to be a little dick about it. Because, oh, I put on adult clothing? Fuck you!
I can, listen here, I can adult perfectly well with my pajamas on. Exactly. I know for a fact, because Chuck let me get away with it when I gave presentations in class. And I always got an A.
What does political opinions have to do with Lothar? Nothing. The author was being political, so I was being political right
The author has put their political opinions in here. Thus, politics have been placed in.
Blah, 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 blah. Oh, wait, they threw on adult clothing, but then they proceeded to describe what they threw on. It's the other way around, I think? Would you even... No, you wouldn't even mention it. At least they wouldn't mention it in the way you did. Like, I put on adult clothing. I then proceeded to yank on my favorite pair of black leggings. Like, they
ignoring this and moving further on.
Yeah. Like,
I put on a pair of mismatched socks, hurriedly packed the rest of my crap in my backpack. I was a poor student. I was still living at home, though since my parents had been divorced for a number of years, every other week I had to travel back and forth between the houses. No,
actually, you don't have to.
If you're old enough to go to college, your parents, you no longer have, like, you're no longer shipped back and forth based on the whim of visitation rights. Well, let me phrase that. At least not in the U.S.
Yeah,
it could be different in Canada. I don't know. But I'm willing to bet that if you're old enough to be in college, you're old enough to be considered a legal adult, and therefore, it doesn't matter whose turn it is to see you that week.
Blah, blah, blah. The dad's cooking. Here, have some food. Thanks, Dad. It's in the fridge. Here, take the food. Well, I rolled my eyes at my dad giving me food. I threw open the fridge! You know there's a reason why the English language has so many words for opening something? It's because it's, again, back to what I said at the start of this frickin' podcast. It's all about the degrees. I slammed it open. I threw it open. I opened it. I slid it open. I
violently opened it.
Like, there is degrees of this whole thing. Like... Beside it being mandatory for a teen in their early 20s to talk about their new religion.
I'm sorry, what?
Isley was making a joke about atheists and Tumblrites.
Oh.
Blah 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 blah. It's cold outside. Okay, yeah, you're in Canada. Blah 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 blah. Oh man, I love Lord of the Rings so much. Oh man, it was so good. Oh, so amazing. I love RPGs. Oh, fantasy is awesome. Woo, stars.
I'm sorry,
are fun
I wasn't
to
paying
look
attention.
at.
Where are we?
I have an internal monologue. It's a shooting star. I squeezed my eyes. I wish I could live in a fantasy story. And then I was sucked into a giant thing and got super dizzy. Oh no, I'm falling. And I'm inside the Lord of the Rings story.
Once again, listen here. If I was like, I wish I could live in a fantasy story, and then
I would be damn fucking specific about that.
Well, A, yes, I would too be damn specific about it. But B, and then something weird happened, and I woke up with no idea where I was, I'd be like, awesome. It totally. There are now 2 possibilities. 3, I guess. I'm dead, and this is my own personal heaven. It worked, and in which case, yippee, or 3, I'm dying and hallucinating. Either way, I don't have any way to discern which of these is reality. So I'm just gonna have fun with it.
More or less, right? Also, if I ended up in a fantasy story, I'd just be like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I mean,
which,
this person
speaking of which, here's a plug into my eventual Ruby self-insert, where problems occur. The best podcast, indeed.
If you guys think it's the best podcast, get us 2 more followers so we can make money off of ads.
Indeed. Everyone should follow us and tell their friends and family about it, and then lose their friends and family because they told them about it.
But as long as they don't unfollow, we still get money.
Indeed. You should all follow me. Because I'm great and fantastic and I'm hilarious. And I have no ego whatsoever.
Anyway, you know what? We're done here, so why don't we move on?
Blah, 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 blah. I'm in the middle of a forest. Oh my god. Why was I cut and abrasion free? I'm not kidnapped. What's going on? Oh no! I have nothing! Fuck! Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't get any feelings of terror there.
Yeah. Well, A, because we all know what this is. Why are we going to be worried about you ending up in the Lord of the Rings world? No one's going to be... This isn't like, oh, I wish I was in Fallout, and then you wake up in a radioactive hell. Like, that's reason to be worried for the main character. Assuming it's not a Mary Sue, which this one is anyway. But you're waking up in Tolkien's Lord of the Rings universe. Bad things... If you have a name, bad things don't happen to you in Lord of the Rings land.
Let's see, we already had a D times D story, but this is a Dark Souls D times D story.
It's 7:55. We have maybe 10 minutes. Do you just want to? Do you want to just throw up one of the just fucking dumb ones?
Yeah, let's go with the just fucking dumb ones. No, Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings. Mass Effect. Sailor Moon, Mass Effect, Warhammer, Halo.
Yeah, you know what? Let's do Sailor Moon, Mass Effect.
That's hey!
We
haven't gotten our Undertale or Ruby section done today. Oh boy, look what it is.
Let's keep it that way.
What?
Oh, no.
As always, folks,
Ah, you posted the same link.
Yep, I fixed it. The message, the link to the fic we are currently reading can be found in our Discord, which can be found in the description if you're on YouTube, or the panels down below.
Wait.
Sands in Remnant. What? Wait, what?
I'm just gonna let me know when you're done reading the intro because I need to read this author's note.
Okay, no problem. Yeah. Death was not the end for a certain skeletal comedian. When Sans is sent to the world of Remnant, he will make new friends, new enemies, and new bad jokes. Warning: Undertale, genocide, and movie spoilers. You have been warned. Also, I only own OCs and nothing else. BT, because I'm scared.
Alright, on with this terrible author's note. Hi everyone, this something that many a person have done, but I will have my own twists. Also, I'm debating giving Sans shotguns, like Reapers from Overwatch. I don't understand how grammar works. No? Yes? Maybe? Stay to the plot, you game-ruining idiot. Please tell me. Right away I'm expecting a lot of no's, but I'm hoping that I will get proved wrong. The shotguns won't make Sans overpowered anyway, and he needs a long-ranged attack other than bones. Why am I selecting shotguns as a method of long-range attack? I don't know, probably because I don't understand how firearms work. He will get too tired too fast if all he can use is magic on waves upon waves of Grim. Imagine him using bone attacks 20 times because all of the Grim. He will get tired 20 times faster, and it will be really easy for a Grim to take him from behind without a backup weapon. Also, I don't Overwatch. Need this one because I mentioned Reaper, not because there will be Overwatch characters in the story. Ruby or Undertale, nor do I own any characters from them. Oh yes, bold and italic is the scary voice Sans uses, like saying things, you'd be dead where you stand. Oh, and if the name Sans has no caps, it's on purpose, you know what I mean. Got it? Well, bye. And now I'm going to go kill myself.
Yeah?
And yes, I read it in the Big the Cat voice, because that's about how high I'm estimating this author's intelligence is.
Intelligent. I think you lost some intelligent when you were reading
You know what? No one can do the Big the Cat voice and not lose a few points off their IQ.
Yeah, you're not wrong on that one, Mike. You're not wrong on that one at all.
But terrible voices aside, I'm sorry for torturing everyone with that. But just fuck this author.
I don't think we should fuck this author. I kind of don't want this author to reproduce.
Well, I mean, we're both male, so the chances of them reproducing are really, really slim.
Maybe they're female.
Something you need to share with the class.
Yeah. Whoa. Maybe they're female, okay? Holy shit, bro.
Possible, but somehow I doubt that.
That's a fair enough statement.
This is the internet. Everyone is the 30-year-old man named Chuck and they live in their mom's basement. Anyway, but, like, so you're doing something that everyone's done. You're telling us you can have your own twist. Okay, that's already tough, because everyone's already done it.
Yeah.
And now you want to give someone who's never had guns and never had any firearms experience guns. Okay, that seems really dumb, but whatever. But you're going to give him shotguns because you want to give him a long-range option. Now, while shotguns aren't actually as horribly short-ranged as video games would have you believe, they're still not a long-range weapon. I don't care if you put slugs in it. It is still not a long-range combat solution.
Well, I mean, it can be. Here's the thing about slugs, okay? They pack about the same power as a 308 round. But like proper high quality slugs pack around between 308 and a 7.62.
Right.
And the problem there, though, is the weight and size of a shotgun slug round is not only absurdly larger and more inefficient to use comparatively to a rifle round, it's slower, less accurate, and generally, what the hell are you doing?
Significantly less accurate.
If you have the ability to use a rifle round, use the rifle round. While you were reading, I was trying to point out to people. Oh wow, that doesn't help me at all. Oh wow.
Yeah, well, also, and this is something else that's... Oh, we're getting fancy there. Something else that's very important to note. This person is going to give them Reaper's shotguns from Overwatch.
Yeah.
Which are essentially sawed off.
Which are sawed off, what's it, 20 gauge scattergun? A birdshot scattergun, basically? Yeah.
Yeah, they're certainly birdshot. But so here's the thing. Even if, sure, maybe he's got super fancy, they're just miniaturized shotguns. You can't, okay, you can, but putting a slug in that is incredibly stupid. Because you can't use two hands to brace that. You will break your arm.
Yeah, you know why Reaper can dual wield sawed-off shotguns? Because A, he doesn't need to reload. B, he's literally made of shadow.
No, he's not. He's a person.
Yeah, but he goes shadowy.
He was resurrected by nanomachines.
He's got nanobots.
I was gonna say he
heals quick.
I was gonna say he has literal nanomachines keeping him alive, and based on the way his armor, looking at his armor, it looks like he's got like special reinforcement around his wrists, probably because he's using two shotguns in his hands.
Right.
You know, he doesn't want to break his arms.
You ready?
Sure.
Sans was free! From what? Life. Frisk. No, Chara had killed him. It's normal. Human falls down in a hole and gets possessed by a vengeful demon story. And then they killed everyone. Even him. He was dead. Or dying. He could faintly see the outline of papyrus in front of him. His brother spoke. Sans, I was told you would be leaving me. Even in death, you have somewhere to go. So this is my final goodbye. Blah, 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 blah. Philosophy, blah, blah, blah. So sorry. Alternate universes, where we're friends with humans. Blah, blah, blah. You were the best brother ever. Blah, blah, blah. It faded away. Blah, blah, blah. Hyrus wasn't... Holy fucking block of text, Batman! No. Bad time, summoned bones, skewering the grim, leather pouch. Hello, Sans. Welcome to World of Remnant. In this world there are grim, called monsters, but they have no souls.
Sorry,
the note went on to explain everything about this world. Parentheses, I'm not going to write a chapter worth of Remnant info. Literally kill yourself.
Alright, author. It's fine if you don't want to write a chapter worth of Remnant info. But A, come up with a better hand wave than a literal note explaining everything. And when you do an author hand wave, you don't tell people that you're hand waving. You just... Everyone knows when you're hand waving. People are intelligent enough to figure out most of the time when you're doing a hand wave, and if they're not intelligent enough to raise a complaint about doing a hand wave. Either way, you don't bring it up.
It's like Fight Club.
It's like when a magician is on stage and he saws someone in half. We all know the human being hasn't been sawed in half. But it's poor form to stand up and say, he hasn't really sawed that person in half, unless you're a plant. In which case, you're paid to do that.
And then he actually saws the person in half, and then we all find out it was actually a strategy to murder someone.
Sadly, they couldn't get away with it. Because, you know, murder.
They never quite got down their vanishing act.
Indeed. Indeed.
Blah, 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 move it, kid. Wait, fucking what? Why? It was nighttime in a store, and he was in a dust shop, store clerk, a kid wearing red, reading a weapon magazine. He went to the actual dust part of the dust shop, dust in all color, a bunch of men barged in. Dust shop open this late, move it, kid, one of them said. He raised an eyebrow, turned back to what he was doing. Sans ignored them. Alright, take this. He swung a fist at Sans, but then their vision flashed black and Sans wasn't there. The men looked around wildly. What's taking so long? Oh my god, the boy disappeared. Yup, that's me. What now? Leave. They all looked at him in shock. Oh my god, woo, wall of text. I'm not reading that, but...
Also, they're in the wrong form.
Hi, in the future it will be more comedy. This is not a feels story. I would just like to let you know, author, even though you're probably never going to see this. I would like to let you know, author, that what I just read was a comedy if comedy induced suicide. And that, everyone, is why this story is just fucking stupid. Well, thank you everyone for joining us tonight, despite our little technical difficulties. And it's time for the closing. If you enjoyed this, please share it, embed it, give it to your friends, your family, people you hate and never wish to talk to again.
I highly recommend that last one. I highly recommend that last one.
Subscribe to us either here or on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, give us a like. Help pump that algorithm.
Yes, yes. Help us pump the algorithm, even though we're absolutely advertiser unfriendly.
Oh, without, oh, that was the wrong one. This is the right one. There we go. Just ignore my fact that I'm completely shit at this. As I was saying, if you enjoyed this for whatever reason, come on back next time. We're here every Tuesday and we're here every Friday, guaranteed, unless I otherwise say so on my Discord server, which can be found in the description or panels below. We're here every Tuesday and Friday from 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or maybe a bit longer, depending on how we want to.
If, for whatever reason, you have a desire to interact with us outside of this show, you
find
can
us on
speak to
Discord.
us in the Discord.
Or alternatively, if you were like, man, these guys sure talk a lot of shit about their fiction, check out our fan fiction. It's on our Twitch page. In the
fair warning, it's all shit posts.
It's the two pictures. The picture of the dolphin saying, what day to be trash is my trash, and the trash can is our trash. As always, everyone, join us next time. Because, as always, there's always more, and it always gets worse.